Hello and welcome to Living Water and Awakening Marriage. Hello and welcome to Nej, det duer stadigvæk ikke. Hold nu op, mand. Hello and welcome to Living Water and Awakening Marriage. In this series, we are looking at different ways we can encourage each other and grow together in our marriage. We want to make our marriage strong because when we are strong, we're able to not only stay strong together, but even reach out to others and be a blessing to them.
Yeah, and that's what this series is about. And last week we gave you a challenge, and it was to compliment your spouse every single day, to say something positive to your spouse. You can always write a message back to us to say, yes, we did it and it worked, or we had a challenge. Please just respond to us about this, because we want to reach out and help you guys to do this. But we've made it a habit in our marriage that we are very aware of each other, and we're aware when we do something for each other. And we found it very useful and beneficial for our marriage. It's making our marriage much stronger when we actually help each other by seeing each other and recognizing the good deeds that we do for each other.
It's easy to take each other for granted.
Yeah.
It's easy to think, yes, of course, my wife made food because we are hungry. But why not compliment each other and say, man, this was a good meal. Man, you did it so good. I really like when you are making food. And it's easy for us to forget that and to forget that the other person is really doing something great. We take things for granted, but we need to practice again and again to encourage each other, lift each other up, because that really lifts the other person up to also appreciate me as the spouse.
Yeah. And seeing each other despite the circumstances, see beyond the circumstances. If something was irritating, see past it, let it go, forgive it, and let it go as quickly as possible. But look at what's good, because God has created something wonderful in your spouse. And seeing it, like, oh, Finn was doing the grill the other day, and just appreciating him working the grill and making wonderful meat out there is just wanting to lift him up and appreciate everything that he's doing that way. Just the small things matter. Opening the door, whatever it could be, saying something nice, it's just important.
And therefore, we want to take it today into communication. We want to talk today about communication, the importance of communicating together. It's very difficult to hear what the other person thinks because you can't hear the other person's thoughts. And so, if you don't communicate together, if you don't talk together, if you don't express to your spouse what you are feeling, then your spouse is not able to hear what you are going through. And so therefore it is extremely important that we also learn to communicate what we're going through.
Yeah. Communication and listening skills are extremely important, but it is not just in your marriage, but also around people, around your children and where you work, your friends. It's important that you communicate clearly. And there's such a thing called assertive communication. Look it up. There are many sites on the website that you can look at and read about it. But it's also really to focus clearly on, this is my message. You don't have to agree on what you're talking about, but as long as you're communicating clearly, your spouse will also be able to get an understanding of what you're getting at. So it's communicating your thoughts, your feelings. It's telling about everything that you're going through. As you said, Finn, what am I going through? It could be an emotion, it could be an experience that you've had at work or around your friends or whatever has been happening in your life. But I was reminded of what it says in James 1:19. And really, I know it's going deeper than just speaking, because there's something that is important besides speaking. It says here, my dear brothers and sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. And talking about communication, along with it goes listening. And we've decided in our marriage that when we listen to each other, we take turns. If there was a disagreement, you will tell your part, I will repeat it back, as in saying, I understand this part. Was that correct? Was that what you wanted me to understand? Or else it will be done again. It's just a way of making each other feel appreciated, that you're being listened to. It's extremely important that we listen as well as speak. But as it says in James 19, it says that you really have to listen much more than we speak. And not just to say that women are the speaking race, but we do speak. We do, but we probably have to be quiet more and let our husbands speak. Um, but if there is a disagreement on something, it's important that we listen to each other.
I think a very important thing when it comes to communication in your marriage is that you always have in the back of your mind, is this covered in love, or am I just expressing my irritation? And so every time I express something to my wife or to my spouse, I express it in love. So it's not that I am angry with that person, it's more that we need to solve this. And so as Lene was saying, we will sit down, and so Lena, she will tell me what she experiences, and so on purpose we sit down, and we have this disagreement on this place where we don't really understand each other, and so we sit down, and so Lena, she will express what she is feeling, and then I listen, take time and listen with honor and respect, and she shares it with honor and respect. And so when I have heard it, I also repeat again what I have heard. Is this what you are saying that you experienced? Because in this way, we are able to get clear communication between us, because it's very easy to misunderstand. She is not understanding things as I am, and I'm not understanding things as she does. And so very fast we go beside each other, and there is something hanging in the air. But if we sit down and allow one to speak and then the other to speak, and cover it with love and appreciation, then we are able to take small issues and get them out of the way.
Yeah, it's very useful. So we can only say, try this, try it at home. Really, it's actually very useful. Um, but the challenge for next week, for this coming week, is to write your spouse a love letter. It's actually to write it. We tried this, and it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. So I want you to sit down. I want you to find a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write down a love letter to your spouse, telling your spouse everything that you appreciate about your spouse, everything that you value. Of course, in honor and respect, you will write this. The way you deliver it is up to you, but this is something that you can work on throughout the week, and see how it goes. Because I can only say that doing this is also it's a humbling thing. It's an honoring thing. It's an act of kindness too. But how often do we actually write a letter to our spouse? We did it years ago, maybe when we were recording, but now when life is busy, is there time to write a love letter and show your appreciation on a note? This is the challenge of the week. Week 2. Yes.
Yes, so when we talk about communication, we can easily take things for granted and not say appreciate the other, or we can even snap at each other and be irritated with each other. But now we're challenged to sit down and look at all the positive things about our spouse and try to communicate it in simple words. It doesn't have to be more than 4 or 5 lines. You don't have to write a whole book. Just write a little bit and see what you can come up with, and focus on what is good about my spouse. And slowly, as you write it out, you start to appreciate each other. You start to see the loving things about each other, and you will see that love in your marriage starts to grow.
Yeah. An extra challenge within this could be that you sit down in your quiet space and you're just praying over, what should I write? What is it that you want me to say, God? Holy Spirit, come over me and tell me what I should write to my spouse. So that's something that you could also do. Yeah. So that was what we wanted to share with you today. We hope that you're enjoying your day. It's definitely a wonderful day here in Reading. It's hot outside today. So we bless you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.